So we are here today to introduce to you the best show that's going to be on YouTube from past, present, and future. We are here on the congregation couch. I am the P.I.M.P, aka the Presidential Intellectual Masculinity Perceived. This is my comrade and partner in crime and doing things that rhyme, Pastor Marquise Combs.
Appreciate that introduction, man. God created mankind, so everything was good already. And then, while everything was good, he decided to create mankind in his own image.
His own image. We're going to start it off from the very beginning on what I believe to be what started all the simp things going on, the anti-pimp way, the anti-dip on your chip way, you know what I'm saying? The things that get you where you want to go, get you in your move and your groove. Adam fell us all, baby, and I'm here to let y'all know that the pimp way is on the way. Understand me?
If at any moment your voice raises to a higher octave than a bass, you are no longer pimping, you simping.
Is it just about the voice, or is it what? Sometimes
I use the voice as an analogy. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you gotta be loud and thunderous. Understand me?
I mean, a roar and a scream is two different things. You understand me?
Hey, that's a good analogy, pimp.
You hear me?
That's a good analogy, church. A roar and a scream is two different things. Understand me? That roar go come from deep in the belly. Understand me?
Yeah, I love to hear a man roar. What a man roar, whatever made me sit down somewhere. You hear me?
Like a lion.
You know,
like
and if you know me, you understand me. It's a little hard to make me sit down somewhere. But if I hear Mufasa. Yeah, boy. Mufasa. I'm used to sit my ass down somewhere.
Just tingles me.
Yeah, something about that does something to me. Yes, Lord.
Understand me?
There's a scripture that says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?"
This is a lesson for y'all simps out here, as far as the perspective of keeping your whole organization in order. Understand me? When you start simping, aka within the context of a man and a woman, Pastor, when you start trying to chase your woman and validate her and please her, what you don't understand, simp, is you actually putting that woman above the Lord. You don't know that in the time, but that's what you're doing. You know what's gonna happen? You guaranteed to lose the woman. You're gonna lose the woman because you put the woman above the Lord. So if
Without divine order.
Understand me?
Yeah.
So the Lord gonna take her from you. You think you're doing the right thing by worshiping her and laying out the red carpet for no reason whatsoever. Whatsoever, she ain't earned none of that. You just doing because you feel like it's the right thing to do, and the Lord gonna take you from her. I ain't seen one simp out here right now, Pastor, who is still winning. Every simp right now in 2022, Pastor, taking L's, big L's, Pastor. They losing everything they got, including the woman. So we are here today to introduce to you the best show that's going to be on YouTube from past, present, and future. We are here on the congregation couch. I am the P.I.M.P, aka the Presidential Intellectual Masculinity Perceived. This is my comrade and partner in crime and doing things that rhyme, Pastor Marquise Cummings.
Appreciate that introduction, man. God created mankind. So everything was good already. And then, while everything was good, he decided to create mankind in his own image.
His own image. We're going to start it off from the very beginning on what I believe to be what started all the simp things going on, the anti-pimp way, the anti-dip on your chip way, you know what I'm saying? The things that get you where you want to go, get you in your move and your groove. Adam fell us all, baby, and I'm here to let y'all know that the pimp way is on the way. You understand me? This 1100 thing is I'm saying right here with this pimping pass. You know what I'm saying? This dip on my chip go long, understand me?
He go low.
It go long and strong, understand me, Pastor? Go long and strong, huh, baby?
We still,
you understand me,
this
Pastor?
guy right here, he still
you understand me, Pastor?
We got to pray. We got to pray just to make it today.
We got to pray just to make it today.
I don't fool with them cantina thins. I like them big chips, you understand me? I like a lot of dip, Pastor.
Maggi onion soup and Nestle reduced cream for the freshest, creamiest dip.
A whole lot of dip on my chip.
We're going to try to get back to this verse. He show out every now and then. We got to wait on him sometime, but we're going to get back to the word.
Hey,
So,
I let them scoop, Pastor.
verse
Some Fritos.
Verse 2. That's what happened when the word try to go forth.
Hey,
Sometimes
Pastor.
somebody always trying to talk.
Hey, big grab, Pastor. Hey, you know the big grab?
We never know how the show gonna go. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give him a moment.
Big grab, Pastor. Hey, Pastor, all of
Lord help. Verse 2.
I want all of it, Pastor. All of it.
Verse 2.
Understand me?
If at any moment your voice raises to a higher octave than a bass, you are no longer pimping, you simping.
Is it just about the voice, or is it what? Sometimes.
I use the voice as an analogy. You know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
you know. Sometimes you gotta be loud and thunderous. Understand me?
I mean, a roar and a scream is two different things. You understand me?
Hey, that's a good analogy, pimp.
You hear me?
That's a good analogy, church. A roar and a scream is two different things. Understand me? That roar will come from deep in the belly. Understand me?
Yeah, I love to hear a man roar. What a man roar, whatever made me sit down somewhere. You hear me?
Like a lion.
You know,
Like
and
Simba.
if you know me, you understand me. It's a little hard to make me sit down somewhere. But if I hear Mufasa,
Mufasa.
yeah, boy,
Mufasa.
I'm gonna sit my ass down
Just
somewhere.
tingles me.
Yeah, something about that does something to me. Yes, Lord.
Understand me?
There's a scripture that says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?"
This is a lesson for y'all simps out here, as far as the perspective of keeping your whole organization in order. Understand me? When you start simping, aka within the context of a man and a woman, Pastor, when you start trying to chase your woman and validate her and please her, what you don't understand, simp, is you actually putting that woman above the Lord. You don't know that in the time, but that's what you're doing. You know what's gonna happen? You guaranteed to lose the woman. You gonna lose the woman because you put the woman above the Lord. So if
Without
you
divine order.
understand me?
Yeah.
So the Lord gonna take her from you. You think you doing the right thing by worshiping her and laying out the red carpet for no reason whatsoever. She ain't earned none of that. You just doing because you feel like it's the right thing to do, and the Lord gonna take you from her. I ain't seen one simp out here right now, Pastor, who is still winning. Every simp right now in 2022, Pastor, taking L's, big L's, Pastor. They losing everything they got, including the woman. So we are here today to introduce to you the best show that's going to be on YouTube from past, present, and future. We are here on the congregation couch. I am P.I.M.P, aka the presidential intellectual masculinity perceived. This is my comrade and partner in crime and doing things that rhyme, Pastor Marquise Cummings.
Appreciate that introduction, man. God created mankind. So everything was good already. And then, while everything was good, he decided to create mankind in his own image.
His own image. We're going to start it off from the very beginning on what I believe to be what started all the simp things going on, the anti-pimp way, the anti-dip on your chip way, you know what I'm saying? The things that get you where you want to go, get you in your move and your groove. Adam failed us all, baby, and I'm here to let y'all know that the pimp way is on the way. You understand me? This 1100 famous, I done said I hold this pimping pass. You know what I'm saying? This dip on my chip go long, understand me?
It go long.
It go long and strong, understand me, pal? Go long and strong, huh, baby?
We still,
you understand me,
this
pal?
guy right here, he still
you understand me,
we
pal?
got to pray. We got to pray just to make it today.
We got to break just to make it today.
I don't fool with them canteen things, pal. I eat them pick chips, you understand me? I like a lot of dip, Pastor.
Maggi onion soup and Nestle reduced cream for the freshest, creamiest dip.
A whole lot of dip on my chip.
We're going to try to get back to this verse. He showed out every now and then. We got to wait on him sometime, but we're going to get back to the word.
So, I let them scoop, Pastor.
Verse 2. Verse 2. That's what happened when the word try to go full. Somebody always trying to talk.
Hey, big grab, Pastor. Hey, you know the big grab?
We never know how the show gonna go. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give him a moment.
Big grab, Pastor. Hey, Pastor, hold on.
Lord help. Verse 2.
We're all of it, Pastor. All of it.
Verse 2.
Understand me?
If at any moment your voice raises to a higher octave than a bass, you are no longer pimping, you simping.
Is it just about the voice, or is it what? Sometimes
I mean, I use the voice as an analogy. You know what I'm
sometimes
saying?
you know, sometimes you gotta be loud and thunderous. Understand me?
I mean, a roar and a scream is two different things. You understand me?
Hey, that's a good analogy, pimp.
You hear me?
That's a good analogy, church. A roar and a scream is two different things. Understand me? That roar go come from deep in the belly. Understand me?
Yeah, I love to hear a man roar. What a man roar, whatever made me sit down somewhere. You hear me?
Like a lion.
You know,
like
and
Simba.
if you know me, you understand me. It's a little hard to make me sit down somewhere. But if I hear Mufasa,
Mufasa.
I'm used to sit my ass down
Just
somewhere.
tingles me.
Yeah, something about that does something to me. Yes, Lord.
Understand me?
There's a scripture that says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?"
This is a lesson for y'all simps out here, as far as the perspective of keeping your whole organization in order. Understand me? When you start simping, aka within the context of a man and a woman, Pastor, when you start trying to chase your woman and validate her and please her, what you don't understand, simp, is you actually putting that woman above the Lord. You don't know that in the time, but that's what you're doing. You know what's gonna happen? You guaranteed to lose the woman. You're gonna lose the woman because you put the woman above the Lord. So if
Without
you go,
divine order.
understand me?
Yeah.
So the Lord gonna take her from you. You think you doing the right thing by worshiping her and laying out the red carpet for no reason whatsoever. Whatsoever, she ain't earned none of that. You just doing because you feel like it's the right thing to do, and the Lord gonna take you from her. I ain't seen one simp out here right now, Pastor, who is still winning. Every simp right now in 2022, Pastor, taking L's, big L's, Pastor. They losing everything they got, including the woman. All right, church, man. Shoot. I apologize, man. I lost my phone, man. I had to go out here. I rip and run and left it in my car, understand me? Ripping and running, man. Pimp out is hard out here for a pimp, man. Out here working hard, man. Out here working hard, man. Whew. But we got here today, understand me? We got here. We got a good word for y'all tonight, understand me? If you can hear me. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. I apologize for the late start. A little bit behind schedule, understand me? But we'll get this word nonetheless. Got us a good topic for tonight. Real good topic. For all the ladies out there that just don't care, understand me? Trying to figure out how they can avoid the turmoil known as the wall, understand me? We go deep dive on it. We go understand wholeheartedly what the wall is, what it means to people in general, not just women, but generally speaking, what you can do to not only avoid it, but also prevent it from hurting you and anyone you love or like, understand me? So, let me go ahead and send out my invites. I ain't had time to send out my little text message, man. Give me a spell or two, understand me? Well, I sent out to the little bit of demographic I got. So people who might be interested in seeing the content for the night. Bear with me. Apologize, like I said, lost my phone, had to go find it, understand me? But if you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat, understand me? And we'll get it going. We're definitely gonna not postpone the show for technical difficulties. We gotta keep this thing going, man. The congregation couch will live on, understand me? Send out there to everyone that wants to see it. Like, share, and subscribe. You could be the next one to win a chance to meet the man of your dreams, understand me? But you got a finite amount of time, understand me? You can't take forever. Unfortunately, the way God made women, he didn't make them to last forever for as the ability to attract the opposite sex, understand me? It's just something that the Lord did upon us. I don't really know why, but that's just the way it is. That's just the name of the game, understand me? I didn't make the rules, I just learned to live by them. Now, once I get through sending all my texts out, we'll go ahead and step into the topic. Once again, I apologize for the late start. Lost my phone, so I couldn't even send out my mass notifications, understand me, with my little phone list. A little bit of crowd I do got, the people that I do know want to see the content. I didn't even get a chance to send out. I was busy working today, man. Kind of tough out here for a presidential intellectual masculinity procedure, understand me? But we go get on into it as soon as I get through sending stuff out, man. As soon as I get through, we go on through. Make it do what it do. Got a few more left, y'all. Bear with me. Like I said, I lost my phone for the night, man. If anybody wants to chime in and let your voice be heard, I will pin the comment up at the top. Or actually, it should be the only comment on there right now. If you want to call in and speak your piece about this wall thing, understand me? Is it real? Is it for play? You tell me. Got a couple more left, y'all. Bear with me, church. I apologize yet again. Deepest condolences. One of these days, I'm going to have a whole production crew. And they do all this for me, understand me? I ain't got to do it myself, man. But right now, it's a one-man show. But the show must go on. We have an agenda here on the congregation couch on the survival of the simp to put out this good word for everybody that wants to hear it. Actually, I went to a wedding this weekend, man. Before we dive into the topics, man, I want to chime in on this, man. It was actually a very nice wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. And the guy that got married, I know for a fact that he wouldn't be a married man right now if it wasn't for some of the game I gave him. Some of the conversations we had behind closed doors, in the inbox, understand me? Some of the good games, some of the good things I gave him. I know for a fact that it helped this young man. get where he wanted to go and achieve the goal he wanted to strive out to do, which was be a happily married man. And he found a lovely lady. And from my perspective, they one of the most sexually polarized relationships I've seen out there. Are there chinks in the armor like everybody? Yes, absolutely. But that's the best one I've seen in a long time. And it was a beautiful thing, man. It was a very lively event this weekend. So I wish them nothing but the best. Nothing but the best on their road to greatness. All right, the chat getting on up, understand me? People coming on in. I appreciate y'all bearing with me. Everybody just came in on the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hold tight. We go dive right in. Just give me a little bit of time, man. Give me a little bit of time, understand me? We almost there. And I think that's about it. That's all who want to see it. All right, without further ado, we're going to dive right into these topics. See if I can. All right, I think I found a pretty good video. We'll see if it's actually good content, man. If he get too far, I mean, it seems like a good video. It's the one that's the most easiest to digest, if you ask me. But we'll dive right on into it, understand me? And we'll see how it goes. Throw this up. Got some arts and crafts for y'all. I apologize yet again for the late start. So we do have some content for y'all tonight, so we'll deep dive right on into it, y'all. Once again, apologize for the late start, but we do have a good show for y'all tonight, man. And before I start this, I don't want any ladies to take offense to what I'm about to say. I am not saying this. This is not about being malicious. This is just informative information that I've learned to be extremely valuable for men and women, actually. We all gonna check out one day, man. That's just the nature of the beast. Men and women have several similarities, but the good Lord did make us different. And I believe there's a very good reason for that. We go deep dive into those logic, into those reasonings, and we'll see if we can make some sense of it. So our first topic for tonight is, what is the wall? I'm about to give y'all a presentation. I just searched this right quick, like within the last 2 minutes. I don't know if this is a good video or not, but it got some charts and stuff on it, so I assume it's a pretty good chart on it. We'll start and stop it. We'll go through it and we'll see how it looked, and we'll pick it up and we'll put it down, understand me? And we'll see if it's going down. Without further ado, go kind of dive into what exactly is the wall. Y'all can hear this, just let me know. Make sure y'all can let me know you hear it.
Possible option before she hits her wall. Try to find, so a woman's whole game is to try to find the absolute best possible option before she hits her wall. Her wall is that period where, and it hits fast for women because, again, her fertility drops, her looks drop at a certain point, and again, since looks are more important in attracting a man than looks are in attracting a woman, those hit, and they hit harder as age continues, and she's competing after these youthful women more and more and more. So when women hit the wall, it's like their first time that they start to go, oh crap, I'm not getting the attention I've always been used to getting. The wall is like kind of panic mode for women because she now goes, shoot, all of this time I spent from 15 to 30, or, obviously it all changes depending on the women, but if she was single from 15 to 30, all of that time she spent dating around, just like having fun, now she's starting to go, oh crap, I am starting to not get the attention I used to. Oh my goodness, guys aren't looking at me the same way as they used to. When she's at a bar or a club or even at the coffee shop, she's seeing women that are prettier than her and younger than her. That is when panic mode sets in, and then she wants to go, crap. She looks around, what guy that is the closest to the perfect man she can get, what guy is around at the time that she can latch onto and get married to before that wall hits, and then she knows that her pickings are going to be slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Now, the reason this part is so important is that a man should recognize his value and never accept being treated as less, because I know just from experience now, when it's funny for me, and some guys ask me that have been, been married or dating someone for a while, like some of my buddies, they'll say, like, Adam, is it hard? Like, is it way harder to get younger women? Like, are you even able to get younger women anymore? And to me, right now, it's easier for me to get a woman that is in that 21 to 24. It's funny that her peak phase, simply because the women that are at like 30 or later, a lot of the women, it's just what I find is that they are starting to ask those questions more quickly, like on online dating. What are you looking for? You better take me out for. They're more like, no, you better take me out for a date. They want to set all these rules because now they want to kind of put off that image, like, no, I'm getting serious. I just want a guy to settle down. So she's gonna kind of put on that image of like, well, I'm not easy and all of that, because she's starting to go, crap, I need to hit that next phase of my life. I need to hitch up with a guy because my value is dropping fast. Now, again, this is all stuff going on in the back of the brain. Women that will end up watching this later, if I put this on YouTube, will probably get angry at me for this. But this is just the back of the mind. And it's not fair if guys don't understand this, because if we went back to, okay, I got to remember, I'll come back to this slide, but I want to show you again. The lie, okay? If we went back to this and guys believe that, we don't get all this attention,
Basically, the wall, so to speak, is nothing more than a woman's value on the sexual marketplace. It has a limited time. That is a reality. Women are usually born to value. Men have to go earn it. That's just the way it is. Now that doesn't mean that women can't have valuable jobs. It doesn't mean that women can't have valuable careers. It doesn't mean that women are valuable in the workplace. It just means that a woman's value in the workplace is not valuable to her attracting a man, whereas a man's value in the workplace is valuable to him attracting a woman. Those are just the rules to the game. Now, why is that? Well, in modern society, I wouldn't even say not in modern society, but just in society in general, we have come to the conclusion in Western society that men are held liable for paying most of the bills, and most of the time are held liable to take care of the family. And that's fair, right? Now, I'm not here to say that looks don't matter for men. Looks are absolutely important. A man can't look like trash, and he has to have some kind of sex appeal to him, especially nowadays. You have to be able to light that fire behind it, but your ability to light the fire is more tied to you and your masculine frame and you being able to take care and provide and protect. It's more tied to that than it is tied to you and your looks. You don't have to be the most debonair guy. And I know men who are built like Hercules, but still have women issues. You know, Tom Brady, the most decorated quarterback in the history of the NFL, is getting divorced right now. Russell Wilson, two-time Super Bowl participant and one-time Super Bowl champion. We all know his issues with his wife are well documented. And, you know, the list goes on. And both of those men are in very good shape. And I wouldn't say either one of those men are not attractive. Russell Wilson got the light skin, good hair thing going on. And Tom Brady got the strong jawline, and he did modeling for GQ at one point in time. So these men aren't ugly. And they're very well accomplished. But the good thing about, I wouldn't say good thing, but the advantage men have over women, and it's just the nature of the game, is that men have a longer span of their actual value when it comes to the sexual marketplace. Only pertaining to the sexual marketplace. This is not for their job, not for their money-making potential. This is only pertaining to the sexual marketplace. Now, what is the sexual marketplace? Basically, that's the overguiding rules and regulations to how men and women kind of measure themselves up. Like there's a marketplace for pretty much everything. When you go to a job interview, when they look at your resume, they'll assess you compared to the other candidates, and usually the job is trying to pick the best candidate for the least amount of money. That's not always the case, but that's usually what's going on. So to bring the analogy towards the sexual marketplace, it's basically men and women are trying to get the best man or woman they can get, with not necessarily the least amount of effort, but within the range of what they're willing to pay for that man and woman, if that makes sense. So that, in a nutshell, is the sexual marketplace. So we kind of illustrated the wall. We had someone break down a chart. And if you just join the chat conversation, and the topic is basically the wall is nothing more than a woman's and a man, both men and women, I think, can hit the wall. We'll dive into that. But basically, the wall is when you hit your sexual marketplace peak, and it kind of falls off the radar after that point. So you have up to a certain age for women, and then once you get to a certain age or to a certain level of notoriety when it comes to you're more of the older women style, you are no longer getting the same amount of attention that you got when you were a young lady. It's just the nature of the beast. Now, move on to the next topic. How to know if a woman has hit the wall. Now, this is a good question, because I think for different demographics of women, they can kind of lengthen out that time frame of them being able to attract the opposite sex for a little bit longer than some women. Like women that are a little more melanated, the darker skin tones, they tend to hold their sexual peak a little bit longer than women who aren't so melanated. It's just kind of the whole black don't crack thing, and that applies to the men and the women. So I think that kind of balances itself out. But to know once you hit the wall, for that woman, for that individual, once you get to the point to where, and the thing is that it's not a very good analogy to me to say once you stop getting attention from men, because I think a lot of women get attention well into their 50s nowadays. So I don't think they ever really just fall off the face of the earth. They just, you're no longer the top pick anymore. You're no longer in the vein or the mindset of the young tenderonis anymore. Not to say that you ever were, but speaking in general terms, if a man had to choose between a brand new car with low miles, same exact car, right? But a brand new model compared to a classic, you better make sure it's a classic. You better make sure it's well maintained. You kept your oil changed, you kept your tires rotated, you did all your maintenance, understand me? make sure you're good to go. I'm not against older women at all whatsoever. You know, I don't the women I date are my age. I would consider all the women I date. I wouldn't say they hit the wall, but because they still get attention from men, so the wall may not necessarily apply to them yet. But there is a finite amount of time in between now and sometime in the future to where they're not going to get the same attention they used to get. At least not from the same kind of men they would want. Now they may still get men their own ages like that, and maybe that's what they want. But the general marketplace, the general census of women and their value is tied directly to their looks. So how do you know if a woman hit the wall? You'll know when you don't get the same attention you used to get. And for some women, it may take you may be into your 50s before you really stop getting attention. You may still get after them. So it's not necessarily tied to the attention. It's more so tied to, am I getting the attention of a certain caliber of man anymore? That's the big kicker. And or am I actually actively dating the kind of man I want? That's the bigger sign. Are you actually actively engaged with a man you would consider a man you want to spend the rest of your life with? And do you have access to those type of men still? That's the thing you want to really assess. Is do you still have access to high caliber men? Because unfortunately, this barometer is quite clouded because there's so many feminine simp men out here that will give women attention well into their later years. I seen a lady on Facebook, they ain't got no teeth in her head, and she ain't got no teeth in her head, and she was still getting hey babes and you so fines and dudes in the inbox, all kind of stuff. This is crazy. But she had dudes here trying to break off some.
Insert cash or select payment type.
She had dudes out here trying to come on through. Understand me? So hey, I can't really knock the hustle, man. I can't hate the player. I can't hate the game. You understand me? It is what it is, man. Hey, if you can still pull them like that, young lady, well into your 50s with no teeth in your head, and they call you jawbone, understand me? Hey, do your thing, baby. I ain't the one to tell you to do nothing else, understand me? If you can still pull them like that, do your thing, baby. All right. Moving on. Will every woman hit the wall? Yes. If you get into an older age, you definitely will eventually get to the point to where only people paying your attention is your grandkids, your children. That will happen. I say for most women nowadays, it may happen around the age of late 40s, early 50s, I guess, depending on your nationality. Like I said, even my mother, she got married late in life, so she still was able to get attention from men. So will every woman hit it? Yes, she will. Will they all hit them at the same time? Now, like I said, that's still tied back to the very feminine and simp energy in society nowadays. And it's so easy for women to get attention from men that they don't really value the work they need to do. And we'll dive into that in the next topic to avoid hitting the wall and never really getting the man you really want to get. We're about to dive into that next. So just to wrap that up, will everyone hit the wall? Yes, she will. Everyone will get to the point where that thing just don't sit the way it used to sit. No, man, they don't sit right. You want to bite you. They sit down low, scrub on the floor. Understand me? Hey, he come through there, man. Hey, he gets to the point where, that ain't, it gets to the point where, it don't just hit like it used to, man. And I don't want you to be out here feeling sad.
Emotional damage.
Hey, about a situation that could have been prevented, man. If you watching this show and you still around early 40s, you still probably look pretty good still. If you took care of yourself, you ate right, you exercised a little bit, you might be okay. I've seen a bunch of my classmates this weekend, man. They all look, everybody is in that room looked pretty good. We had a couple of outliers, but most of the people that was in the building, understand me, look pretty nice. So, continuing on. Now, how to avoid the wall. And what I consider avoiding the wall is that you found a way to get the man you really want, and you still with that man right now, or you're in the process of getting them or whatever the such. From the pimp perspective, the presidential intellectual masculine perceived perspective, understand? From my perspective, the only way you can prevent the wall is to maintain your femininity at all times. that will single-handedly not only prevent you from getting to the point where you pass the wall in the first place, it will also prevent you from being in a situation to where you're late in your age. You still think you got a bunch of time on the clock, and you still can't get the man you want to get, even though you are very well accomplished, very well spoken, very well put together woman. Nice young lady, understand me? Look good, smell good, understand me? Every time you show up, you brighten up the room. Guys always want to come talk to you, and you always got guys shooting their shot. They always in your inbox, understand me? Yeah, somehow, some way, that man you really wanted just never came your way, understand me? So the way you avoid that is you have to lean into your femininity. I had a good conversation with a young lady earlier, and she used to be in a certain lifestyle, and she used to be in a certain kind of caliber of men, and she likes the hood dudes. I ain't gonna knock it. Hey, if you like it, I love it. Understand me? I'm not here to tell you what's right and wrong between what you consider attractive. But there's a point in time where we had some conversations about her love interest, and I wasn't knocking the dude. I was just telling her, hey, that ain't the way. Understand me? Sure enough, like clockwork, things circle back around. Things are always pointing out to her that weren't necessarily masculine for that man to be doing, and things that weren't necessarily feminine for her to be doing. They all came back to bite them, and it didn't work out too well for either one of the individuals. So I say that to say this: the root cause of most issues when it comes to relationships between men and women is neither one of the individuals understand how to be in their right polarized energy. And within the constraints of a heterosexual relationship, the man needs to be masculine and the woman needs to be feminine. Are there exceptions to the rule? Yes, absolutely. But it does not benefit you as a man to be in a relationship with a heterosexual woman and you are constantly finding yourself in the feminine role in that relationship. And vice versa, it does not benefit you as a woman in a heterosexual relationship to always be the person pertaining to the masculine role in a relationship. Now, what must you do to prevent that? It is not on that other individual to make you be more feminine or more masculine. You must take that upon yourself to learn those lessons and apply that knowledge. Let me say that again. Because the young lady that I spoke to earlier, she made a phrase along the lines of, I want to find a man. If for the right man, I'll submit. Well, lady, you're pushing 40 yourself and you look good. You got a big wagon back there. You've been getting attention from men your whole life, but yet somehow, some way, you haven't found a way to attract the man you really want. Why? Because you've always been way too masculine for your own good. And it hasn't benefited you very well. It has not been to your advantage. And these scenarios you find yourself in, with you being beautiful and gorgeous and fine and cute and pretty and all this stuff, got your own place, got your own house, do the best you can to raise your children, you still find yourself in disadvantageous scenarios when it comes to dating men. And it's simply because you do not understand how to maintain your femininity, aka your God energy, aka the tool to accomplish any and every task you want to achieve in life. You can accomplish very masculine tasks through your femininity. You're a man to do it. A woman's greatest advantage, or the greatest asset, is her looks and her beauty and her essence and her grace. And through that ability to be graceful and beautiful and majestic and whatnot, she can literally get a man to do anything she wanted to do. Technically, if you ask me. Now, there's exceptions to the rules, but if you think a dude is telling you no while you in your little lingerie and you got him standing up at attention, understand me, and he ready to explode, he ain't gonna say no to you in those moments. Now, that's a tool you can use sparingly, and this is why I lean to the women for is your femininity, and also combine with that your usefulness, because every woman should take heed to the fact that there's times of the month, every month, that your sexual prowess is not very useful to you. You can't really, there's a time every month where you can't really influence a man with sex alone, because you just is not very sanitary to utilize that at the moment. Now, do people still do it? Yeah. Are there other alternative ways to still accomplish the task? Absolutely. What that mouth do is a thing, understand me? But personally, I'm not a fan. But that's neither here nor there. I know some men who are, but I'm not a fan person. Understand me? I had bad experience with it, understand me? So, people can't seem to keep their teeth out the way, understand me? But hey, that's another story for another day, understand me? But I say that to say this. You get a constant reminder, ladies, every month that your sex appeal is not the most valuable thing to sustain a relationship. Is it extremely valuable to getting the man there in the first place? Yes. But as far as keeping them there, not very valuable, because there's several other women out there that have the same thing you have when it comes to sex appeal. Now, don't take this the wrong way, because people like to go tick for tack. Like, okay, same way there's a bunch of women out here willing to deal with whatever this man got going on. There's also a bunch of men out there willing to deal with what I got going on. Yes, you're correct. But there's a difference between a man that's around and a man that's willing to be in a scenario giving you all the attention you want, and the man you actually want. Those are two different things. So the man you want is going to require a certain level of respect and a certain level of connection and a certain level of whatever you provide to him of value, compared to the guy who's just happy to be there. He's not going to ask you to do little anything of value. He's going to just be happy to be around you. And if you want to be in that scenario where you always constantly worshipped by a guy, hey, hats off to you. I'm not here to say no. I'm not here to say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Most time, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have any cake. And you may eat some, but you ain't gonna be eating what you want. You'll be eating that humble pie, understand me? It's coming in 5 to 10 years. And it's quite upsetting to me to see people go through that, just simply because they just don't know. They didn't know that they will conduct themselves the wrong way. That's some of the reason why I made the show. So to give people a little guidance, a little bit of understanding and direction, so they can go where they want to go with the flow, understand me, and be in that right energy, get everything they want to get out of life. That's the synopsis why we do what we do here. All right. You want to know how to avoid the wall? Just rest in your femininity, baby. You'll be okay. Do men have a wall? I do believe men have a wall. Men do get to the point to where, you're not suitable for nobody. And, no one wants to date you. But that wall has nothing to do with how you look. That wall has to do with your ability to sustain and maintain a livelihood. Because we all know Hugh Hefner died in it, understand me? He owned the Money Ranch, Playboy Mansion. He was every bit of 70, 80 years old, and they don't get much older than that. Jerry Jones, understand me? Y'all know he had to pay a couple of monies off, understand me? So even though Jerry Jones looked like a shriveled up ball sack, understand me? He still got the means to pull young women. Whether he paying them or not, hey, he still got access to them, understand me? It is what it is. So the men have a wall, yes, but their wall is not attached to how they look. Their wall is attached to their ability to sustain and maintain livelihood. So if a man can figure out a way to always keep himself in an advantageous scenario when it comes to his financial standing or economic status, he'll always have access to women. Now, whether it's a transactional situation, or if it's a natural chemistry situation or natural sexually polarized scenario, so to speak, not chemistry, but sexually polarized scenario, that's a whole nother situation. But rich men pay for sex all the time. It just is what it is. That's just the name of the game. Understand me? They had a song by T.I. and Lil Wayne a while back talking about it ain't tricking if you got it. But it's still tricking. If you got it and you paying it, you tricking. Understand me? It is what it is. Don't try to bend the rules, because you don't want to take heed to the fact you out here big spending for no reason. If you got it and you giving it for no reason, that's called tricking. Understand? Now, I'm not here to tell nobody how to spend their money. Hey, it may be cheaper just to go ahead and get it out the way, pay it to leave. Understand me? I'm not against that either. I ain't knocking your hustle. Hey, playboy, you do your thing. Understand me? Is that what you gotta do to get what you need to do? Hey, I ain't here to tell you no less, baby. Do your thing. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Understand me? What is a woman's most valuable asset? So, a woman's most valuable asset, wholeheartedly, this is what gets her in the door. This is most of the time what's going to get her any and all accolades when it comes to sustaining a relationship with the opposite sex. It's directly tied to her looks. So a woman's looks is her most valuable asset when it comes to maintaining, attracting, and getting attention from the opposite sex. Now, Post haste, after the initial attraction, the thing that's actually the most valuable when it comes to actually keeping that individual man, the one you want, is her femininity and usefulness. In that order. I think a woman can be extremely feminine and not very useful and still be able to win. I think a man will still take care of a woman in that scenario, but she may not get a lot of respect. She may still get cheated on because she may still be dealing with a simp dude and she's not very useful. I think the perfect analogy is between the lion and the lioness. The lioness is extremely valuable to the lion, understand me? The pride don't run without the lioness. The lioness understands wholeheartedly her role and her importance to the pride. And the lion understands it as well and respects it. And he's going to reward her with any kind of provision and protection he can provide, up to sacrificing his life to protect his pride, understand me? So, but the lioness must provide that tangible value. So her most valuable asset is her looks, follow extremely closely. Once, like I said, your looks are what get you in the door. Your femininity and your value keep you in the door, if that makes sense. So your looks will always get you in the door. Your femininity and your value and usefulness. Your value is tied to your usefulness to him, to that individual man. Different men are going to want you to do different things for them. It's up to you to pick and choose and find ways to provide value to that man, and whatever it may be. He may not necessarily give you tasks, but it's in your best interest to go find ways to be valuable to him. The unfortunate reality of the hierarchy of romantic relationships is some individuals, especially women, do not understand, and men don't put themselves in a scenario to implement this, is the proper dynamic between a man and a woman in a romantic relationship is the employee-employer. Now, that's a tough pill to swallow. Women don't like to hear that, but that's the reality of the scenario. The kicker to all this, ladies, is you must find a man that you are comfortable working for. That's the key. I'm not saying you need to be going up here and you need to be putting applications and accepting jobs to men who aren't capable of paying you the tangible currency that you need and want. And what is that tangible currency? It's not the money per se, even though money is important. The tangible currency that you need from men is his masculinity, leadership, direction, provision, protection, etc., etc. All those things. Along the way, some of that stuff is going to involve some money. And every masculine man is going to have the ability to maintain and make some money. It's just the name of the game. You will never find a masculine broke man. And if you do find a masculine broke man, it's because he's off the grid and y'all have a totally different lifestyle. I'm not talking about Western society, normal interactions with men and women. We're talking about some nomad type stuff, or like some people who live like the like pilgrims, but like the what's the name of those people that live out in the woods in them cottages or whatever? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Mormons, yeah, the Mormons. Y'all own some stuff like that. If y'all really out here, and even them, I heard they got some money. They take some money to maintain. They go to the grocery store and stuff. I don't know what they do for money, but in those scenarios, if y'all out here living off the land, but even living off the land nowadays, you can't do that for free. You can't just pitch tent in somebody's backyard. And most people own everything. There's no free land out here, so you can't just post up somewhere without some consequences behind that. So, a woman's most valuable asset, yet again, is her looks, followed extremely closely by her femininity and her usefulness to that man. So it behooves you to make yourself useful to him. So, at the end of the day, your most valuable asset is still going to be your looks. What is a man's most valuable asset? So a man's most valuable asset is his ability to provide and protect. Followed extremely closely by his masculinity. And it's like splitting hairs, right? So his ability to provide and protect will get him in the door. The same way a woman's looks will get her in the door. His masculinity, leadership, protection, provision skills, which go well beyond the monetary value. His ability to do that is what keeps him in the door. No woman is voluntarily leaving a man that she wholeheartedly understands is protecting and providing for her and making her feel like a queen, or not a queen, but making her feel like a little princess. I say princess is a better word. No woman is leaving a man that makes her feel like that through nothing but his masculine energy and presence and ability to be a leader. No woman is leaving a man like that. And if she does leave a man like that, she's quite foolish. And she will find herself in disadvantageous scenarios with men for all of her days until she learns how to understand and conduct herself within the constraints of sexual polarity. So, yet again, to reiterate, a man's most valuable asset is his ability to provide provision and protection. It can come in a multitude of ways, but usually it's tied directly to his logistical, monetarily, financial status. And financial status and social status. Those two sometimes are directly connected. Not all the time, because there's a bunch of broke men with a lot of attention. But that's a good substitute to actually being rich and famous. So being rich is a good substitute for being rich and famous, and they're all interchangeable. So if you have the intention, most of the time nowadays, if you have the ability to get a lot of attention, most people assume that you're kind of important, or they assume that you have some kind of tangible value, whether that's true or not. That's just the nature of the beast. So yet again, a man's value is tied directly to his ability to provide, protect, and accumulate assets, so to speak. Things of value. Kind of like that scene from Baby Boy when you talking about guns and butter. Understand me? A man's ability to acquire the butter and a little bit of the guns, understand me? Well, not the butter and the guns, if you have both of them, they go hand in hand, understand me? The guns are the things that are sustainable, the things that appreciate with value. But the butter, understand me? That's the thing to make it shine. That's the thing, that's the cream on the cob. You know what I'm saying? That corn on the cob tastes just a little, it just hit a little bit different with that butter, understand me? It's a big lump of knobs, you got the juice, understand me? I ain't never seen a more beautiful thing, understand me? It's corn, a big lump of knobs, it got the juice. I ain't heard that song, it's pretty funny. All right. Why do so many women hit the wall? Well, generally speaking, every woman will hit it, but every woman is not equipped to prevent it. For the simple fact that I think whenever feminism came out back in, I think the 70s, it got real big in the 80s, and women took the bait on that. Not to say it's good or bad, just kind of all these things is what they are, what they are, man. So I'm not here to say that women's liberation was bad, so to speak. I'm not here to oppress anybody, but you gotta look at the tangible results of that. You got more rights, so to speak, but you know, those more rights also came with more lefts. I mean, what I mean by more lefts is that you got hit a little bit harder. Life is a little bit tougher when you out here trying to do it by yourself. You know, it's just the name of the game. You know, life would be so much easier for a lot of women if they were just married and happy. They might even actually have to even be working. Truth be told, they might even have to have a job. They could have found some presidential election to take care of them. All they gotta do is just show up and be pretty and cute and useful. She ain't got to necessarily work a job. But most women are no longer in that realm of being qualified, so to speak, to get well kept and taken care of in that matter. Not because they don't deserve it. They just haven't done the work to earn it yet. They haven't provided enough femininity and value yet. And once they provide enough of that, then they'll get exactly what they want from whatever man they're dealing with, past, present, or future. That's just the way it goes. So most women hit the wall because they don't understand their goddess energy. And society is telling them to do the exact opposite of their goddess energy, unfortunately. Why? Because society, or the people who run this world, understand wholeheartedly the power of keeping people paralyzed by performance. Keeping you feeling like you're doing great, but all you did was get a bunch of debt. Supposedly, there was a statistic out there that, you know, women are more educated than ever, but they also had the most student loan debt. So you're going to go to the grave. You're going to go to the grave with a loan that you will never pay off, just to feel accomplished, when You could have went to college and figured out how to find the man of your dreams instead of figuring out how to be strong and independent and work the rest of your life. I don't think no one wants to do that. I may be wrong. Maybe there are some women that want to work their whole life. They want to say that I did it all by myself and I'm that bad B, you understand me? And I accomplished all these great things and I ain't need no man and stuff like that. Hey, I'm not here to tell you you're wrong, young lady. But that doesn't sound like the life that no woman grows up dreaming about being a boss. Women grow up dreaming about being princesses and they want to meet Prince Charming. They don't want to meet the frog and have to take care of the frog and have a couple babies with the frog. They don't want to have a couple babies with a dude that they got to take in and take care of and build up. Man,
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
that ain't the play, baby. And I don't advise any woman be out here trying to build up a man. That's not your responsibility, young lady. You're not supposed to be out here building up men. He has to do that on his own. Let him figure it out. And if he never figures it out, then that's fine. That's okay. You dodged the bullet. Dealing with men who are still in the process of getting their life together is a very big mistake that women make. That's you want to avoid settling. That's how you do it. Don't deal with men who ain't accomplished yet. Just don't do it. You don't have to, especially if you got a couple of kids already. Why are you dealing? If you have children already, young lady, why are you dealing with men who are still liabilities on planet Earth? That makes absolutely no sense to this pimping. Understand me? No sense at all. I don't get it. There's absolutely no reason why you should be dealing with a man like that. Don't even give him no play. Don't even run the risk of even having sex with the guy, because he the type of one that have you out here, draped up and dripped out and don't nobody know what you're talking about. Understand me? You hit him up to my, hey, where you at? He done busted a smooth one, and you understand me, and got up on there. You like,
These nuts.
got him. Got him. Hey man, he ain't gonna stay tuned for that stuff, man. He ain't a man of integrity. He's not a man of character. He still has work to do. So let him do that work by himself. It's not your responsibility to help build a man up. Now, if that man is already built up, already in the process of being built, and already has been built, and you can see the results of his labor, as we see here. You see him looking shiny and chrome, understand me? And do your homework. Make sure that he ain't fluffing, because so a man can look like a shiny diamond and still be out here fluffing, understand me? So make sure you do your due diligence and you research this man quite well. And you know how you get the answers you want to get? Through your femininity, young ladies. Lean into your femininity. It'll tell you everything you need to know about that man. Real quick. You'll know, like, within a couple minutes. It's vice versa for a man's masculinity. It exposes people. It's quite lovely once you understand it. Here's a good question. Are the BBWs past the wall? From my perspective, no. None of them are. Could we all be better? Could I be better? Hey, absolutely. I'm going to work on that, understand me? But end of the day, all three of them, they can post a picture on Facebook. Actually, just one right now, but when it was three, they all could post a picture on Facebook or any kind of social media app and then get 100 likes just for a face. They didn't have to do a sideways selfie, nothing. Just for a face picture, they get enough attention from the opposite sex, and they get a bunch of "hey babes" and "you're beautiful" and stuff like that from the opposite and the same sex. So no, neither one of them is past the wall. Now, would they ever hit the wall? Maybe, but they all strike me as individuals that's going to age gracefully, and they'll never really be bad off when it comes to looks. They'll always be kind of relatively attractive to the opposite sex. Men will always find them attractive. So I don't think none of the BBWs are past the wall. And I think they still got about a good 10 years in the tank before they really start looking bad out here. I give them about 10 more years and they'll be out the game. All right. But 10 years is a long time, man. It's a long time to figure stuff out. Next topic. So no, the BBWs, they good, man. They make me look good. We all look good together when we go out, man. It's like a movie, man. They compliment me, I compliment them, man. People want to take pictures of us, understand me? Hey, lights, camera, act. Is the presidential intellectual masculinity perceived past the wall? What y'all think, church? Is this pimping out the frame, baby? Hey, I go outside, man. I'm gonna go out with this on tonight, man. I might go. I'm gonna go play poker tonight with this on, man. Understand me? They gonna think I'm a high roller coming in at night. Understand me? They gonna be trying to get me all. They gonna think I'm about to take all the bank. Understand me? So my wall, yet again, like I said, the wall's attached to my ability to provide, protect, and do provision. I have those abilities. I've been able to go from where I was to where I want to be. Well, not where I want to be, but better than where I was. So I'm very close to $200K a year now, which is more money than I ever thought I'd make in my life. And it feels kind of surreal to say that. But the crazy part about it is I'm just getting started. And I want to take everybody watching these shows with me. This is not about me being great. This is about all of us being great together. Understand me? That's why I need y'all help. That's why I need y'all like, subscribe, share. Come on the show. Come speak your piece. This is not about me. This show is not about a selfish play. This is not just trying to make money on YouTube. This is about providing value to everybody watching. The more value I provide to you, the more valuable this content is going to be. The more you be willing to share it, subscribe to it, and actually implement it. If I'm out here giving y'all bad advice, then you're not going to implement it. But the thing is, I've done the work for you. I've been studying this for like 5 or 6 years now. I've been living it. It works. It is inevitable. Why? Because it's literally how God designed humans to be. There's nothing more, nothing less. That's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The longer you beat your head against the wall about these realities of life, the longer you're going to stay stuck. But I pray and I plead that y'all take heed to these words coming out of my mouth, and y'all apply these lessons, and you go live the life that you really want to live. Get everything you want to get out of it. If y'all can confused about some of these terms and some of these verbal words I'm using, some of the wordplay of it all, if you can't understand the acronym of the P.I.M.P, or you don't understand the acronym of the BBW, or you don't understand the wall, you don't understand this pimping, you don't understand this drip on you, you don't understand the dip on your chip, understand me? You don't understand that my dip go along, understand me? Then reach out to me, man. There's a link. There's an email. Understand me? For now, I give people advice for free, but it's going to be a time real soon to where I can't help y'all for free anymore. It's just I won't have time to. It's just going to be the nature of the game. So all the free stuff will be what I just put out here on YouTube. And then if you want to get more one-on-one granular information on how to go from where you are to where you want to be, it may cost you. I'm not saying it to be pompous. It's just the nature of the game. I rarely had time to do this today. I work 3 jobs outside of the YouTube channel. So there's a lot of things going on, but I'm still doing the best I can to make content for people who want to see it. And I still drive to Winona, Texas, an hour and a half away from church. I'm working on that too. That's another thing. Y'all hear about that as well. There's a plan to build a church in Winona, Texas. You want to come out and enjoy a good service with the pastor, understand me? That's where we'll be on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Understand me? You get in there and get out before the Cowboys come on. Understand me? Come on down, baby. With a church where everybody is somebody. I'm at Olive and Winona, Texas. 7 miles. I apologize. Had to think about that. Would a pimp, understand me, date a woman past the wall? Oh, that is a good question. Thinking out loud, would a presidential intellectual masculinity proceed date a woman past the wall? That's a good question. When I made that topic, I didn't really think about it. I didn't think it was a big a deal, but now that we done dove into what the wall really is, it's kind of difficult to answer that right now. Would I do it? I would say, truthfully, nah, I can't do it, man. Not to say that, but this is what I would do with a woman that's past the wall. If she's feminine and useful, I will still let her be a part of like the team or whatever. Like I wouldn't be having sex with her, nor would I be dating her, but she could still be like an asset. Like she'd be like the house mom or something like that. She'd be the one that can mentor all the other ladies or something like that. If that's the scenario we got going on. I'm not advocating having multiple women like that, but I'm just saying in that scenario, if I had a woman that I wasn't interested in dating, but she was still feminine and still useful, but she was past the wall. If she was fine once upon a time, she still might be able to hold her together and still be able to make it look good, like Claire Huxtable or something like that. She can still pull it off. But make no mistake, Claire Huxtable is past the wall. She can still put on a good wig and put on her face and still look great on TV. But under all that makeup and fake hair, understand me, it's a great old woman. Not to say there's anything going wrong. We all gonna get old, understand me? It's a time and place for everything. She's not Claire Huxtable from the Cosbys anymore. And that's just the name of the band. That's one of the most beautiful women I grew up watching. She's probably still stunning right now, even for what she is. But the name of the game is she just ain't that. She ain't that top dime no more. She had to fall into more motherly roles. Her and Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett wasn't the finest woman ever, and she's still, she aging very gracefully. Just in Wakanda. I ain't seen the movie yet, but she was just in that. So women, especially black women, y'all had the ability to sustain your youthful look for well past your years, especially with modern makeup and wigs like that. So y'all can sustain it for a pretty long time, well past your prime. But you still gotta understand and assess that you're competing with younger, more valuable women. That's just what it is. So a woman that's younger than you that looks just like you, it looks how you did 20 years ago, is gonna be more well equipped to win over a man than you are. And there's nothing you really can do about that. If all things level, she's providing the same amount of femininity and usefulness that you are, and she's just younger, she's gonna win. Now, you still have a chance because most women nowadays don't understand the value of femininity and usefulness whatsoever. They trying to get food out, and that's it. That's all they're trying to do. That's the life right now. That's the name of the game right now. Find a man that's go trick off some money. That's about it. That's the only thing that you really want from men nowadays. Not to say that there aren't good women out here. Not to say that all women are like that, but even the women that aren't like that, they're not understanding the concept of focusing on their femininity. They focused on being a good career woman, and they feel like their value is tied to them being able to do things the man does. Like all the quote unquote good women out here nowadays, they all are working to keep themselves in a position where they feel like they don't need men. They're not working to be an asset to a man. They're working to make sure they never need a man. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying a woman should be worried about trying to get a man at all. What I am going to say is that your life is never going to be fulfilled the way you want it to as a woman without ever having that pair bond and without being able to raise that family with one man. That's what a woman wants to do. Men, we don't really care too much about settling down, so to speak. Eventually, one day, I guess, but the only purpose for men settling down is really just to have a family, but you don't need to settle down to do that. You don't need to settle down at all. You actually more likely to have a bigger family by not settling down, truth be told. But like I said, I am not an advocate for men having multiple women. I never push that on anybody. It's just even me with my scenario with a couple of BBWs. That was just a byproduct. That was not something I asked for. It was just something that happened. And a whole scenario that I feel like it was an adult thing to do. Sit down, 3 women that I was dating and cared about, and just have an adult conversation. That's all it was. Nothing more than that. Carrying on. Should women date men past the wall? So let's redefine what a man past the wall is. A man past the wall, to me, is a man that's past his ability to produce and provide. A man's wall is still up. He's still in front of the wall if he has the ability to provide and protect. Hey, you may not like it. We all seen what was the name of that movie? I think it was Set It Off, I think it was Set It Off. Jada Pinkett in there. With old Nasty Nate, understand me? Hey, Nasty Nate wasn't past the wall, understand me? Nasty Nate knew what was up. Nasty Nate said, you better come on with it, baby. Was Jada Pinkett at the time still before the wall? Yes, absolutely. She's a young tenderoni. Is she still in front of the wall now? I guess you could say so. She ain't past the wall yet. She got Will out here going crazy. I guess she ain't past the wall yet. You see, but off. Was that the name of the movie? Yep, that was it. Say it all. Old Nasty Nate said, you got to go and come on with it, Jada. You understand me? I'm still in my prime, understand me?
Another one.
You got to come on with it. So should women date men past their prime? No, don't do it. It's not going to do anything but cause you pain and suffering. Understand me, ladies? And once again, to define a man past his prime, a man past his prime is a man that no longer has the ability to sustain, provide, and protect. He just out here in the win. Understand me? He ain't gonna win ever. He just ain't a winner. That just ain't what he is. This is a good topic we got coming up right here. Two individuals pass the wall. Do they make a good couple? So we got a woman who's not as pretty as she was, not getting the attention that she wants to get. And this, like I said, this is within the constraints of a heterosexual relationship. And my definition of past his prime, past the wall. So you got a woman who's an older lady who no longer has her value when it comes to sexual marketplace, and a man who no longer has his value in sexual marketplace, or maybe never had it. To me, that's a deadly combination. That's where you get these toxic love triangles and all that other stuff. That's a scenario like that is how people get deleted out here. I don't think that's a good scenario. So that's a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. Two people past their prime, because all it is misery and bitterness. Neither one of them really feel like they got what they wanted to get, and they take it out on each other. That's my opinion of people past their prime trying to date. Not a good look, understand me? Don't recommend it. Don't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't wear one. Can't play with them. Can't do it. Won't do it. Understand me? Life after the wall. So I start with the men first. So for men, the great thing about being a man is that you always have an opportunity to get on the other side of the wall. So you feel like you passed the wall, you fell off somehow, or maybe you never was before the wall. Understand me? You always been on the opposite end of the circle or on the odd end of the stick. Understand me? You never really was able to accomplish your livelihood or get yourself in a good position of power when it came to dating and sexual marketplace. For you, sir, life is going to be quite difficult. Unless you figure out a way to get on the other side of it, it's going to remain difficult for you. And that's the nature of the beast. You got to work your way out of it, sir. I'm not here to tell you or sugarcoat anything, sir. You got work to do. And until you do that work, sir, you're going to stay on the other side of the wall. That's just what it is. Why? Because the Lord said so. Before the Lord had woman, he had work. Understand me? He was on earth long enough to name all the animals. Well before Eve even showed up. Understand me? So before the man had woman, he had work. And men, you got to work. That's just what it is. Because why? Because the Lord said so. Understand me? That's what you got to do. For the ladies, life after the wall. Now, if you watch this or you go back and watch the replay, you will see there are several ways to try to prevent and avoid the wall. But for every young lady out here, rest assured, the wall is coming for you. It's inevitable. So let's look at the slide, right? So I'll put the slide back up. So I can see, for example. All right, so I'm gonna blow it up for you. So if you look at the slide, understand me? The thing that you notice. Once you understand the rules, ladies and gentlemen, you can play the game to win. Make sure you're on the winning end of the game instead of the losing end. That's what we're trying to do. All we trying to do here on this show is give you the answers and give you the tools you can use and the news you can use and get you where you ain't having the blues, understand me? What we don't like to see here is we don't want people to be hearing this noise too often. So that's the noise a woman hears when she hits the wall. About 50 years old, 49, 50, still single, no man in sight, no man coming for you. All your options done ran out. You hear it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you hearing that noise. For men, you hear that noise when you run out of money or you run out of assets or you run out of means to provide and protect. That's when you hear that noise, understand me? It's not very good for you. I don't wish that upon anybody, male or female. The last thing I want is for a woman who's very valuable and very attractive and once upon a time to fall off the face of a cliff and no longer get attention from men and women at all anymore. That's a very sad state. That's how women turn to cat ladies. They need attention from somebody. So that's how they go end up getting a bunch of cats and dogs and stuff. Quite sad. Then you got to maintain your level of substance, man. You can't be affording to be out here going bankrupt, man. You got to continue to eat, man. You got to keep on playing with. You got to keep eating like Pac-Man, baby. Life ain't fair, baby, but you got to keep eating like Pac-Man. You need to eat them power pellets, understand me? You need to find a way to stay on this side of the wall. And for like I said, for men, this side of the wall includes you maintaining and figuring out how to make money. Money ain't the end all be all, understand me? But that's what gets you in the door. Your masculinity and your purpose and your drive keeps you in the door, understand me? All right. So we talked a bunch about the wall. There we go. We always like to end the show with some biblical context. So I'm about to just Google search biblical context on a woman's youth / beauty. See what the good Lord say about it. I know it's gonna be a good word on that. For sure. Bible on a woman's youth. All right. All right, we just found some. What does this Bible say about young ladies? Understand me? Proverbs 31 and 30. Charm. Like I said, I'm just randomly. I just picked this. Just, every time I go into these scriptures, man, we always get some nuggets, man. Everything what we do here on Survival of the Simp is always biblically based, whether we know it or not. Understand me? Proverbs 31 and 30. Understand me? Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Understand me? So what does that mean? Use your femininity to do great things. That's what that means. That's basically what they're saying. Use your femininity to do great things. Instead of your femininity starting wars, allow it to bring peace. Understand me? This is such a lovely thing. 1 Timothy 2nd chapter 9th verse. Understand me? Likewise, also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold pearls or costly attire. Hey, we all know the women out here busting it wide open nowadays, so ain't nobody trying to hear that. Understand me? Ain't nothing subtle about women nowadays. Everybody got it busting them wide open now. Bless our heart. Romans 12th chapter 2nd verse. Understand me? Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your minds. If by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. A woman's femininity is perfect, and it will only breed perfection in her life. Understand me? I want to keep going. Titus, 2nd chapter, 1st through 15th verse. But as for you, teach what accords with sound doctrine. Older men are to be sober-minded, dignified, self-controlled, sound in faith, in love, and in steadfastness. Older women, likewise, are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. That is a word for this evening. Understand me? Let me see. Let me read one more though. One more. Let me see. Let me find a good one. Let me see if we can find one. Let me find a banger. Let me see. Proverbs. It's my last one for the night. There's a bunch on my here, but Proverbs 14 chapter, 1st and 2nd verse. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. Whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord, but who is devious in his ways despises him. So basically, ladies, when you don't rest in your femininity, you're really committing sin if you didn't know. Understand me? You're going directly against the word of the Lord. I don't recommend it. The Lord don't recommend it. Hey, we read about 5 or 6 verses, understand me? All good words. All good context, understand me? When we first started this show, we made sure that we're going to keep everything within the biblical context. And that's what we're going to continue to do, understand me? This show is about providing advice to men and women to get everything you want out of life God's way, understand me? That's the kicker. It's a big difference between doing it on your terms, and people can still get success and not include God in it. It happens all the time. It's called the seed planting process. Everybody can prosper from the seed planting process on planet Earth. It's a variable. It is a what is the word I'm looking for? It is a not a variable is a good word, but also it is a attribute of planet Earth. We are beings of planet Earth. If you plant the seeds in the right time and the right soil with the right people, you will reap the harvest. That's just what it's going to do. Whether you're a good person or not, whether you're doing it for the agenda of pushing the Lord or not, and you still get the harvest, understand me? So don't be worried about somebody else's crops when they planted the seeds last year and you didn't plant nothing. Or the seeds you did plant, you plant them inside where ain't no rain at, understand me? They may be evil, but they understand how to plant some seeds, understand me? So with that said, we're going to get up out of here, church. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me, man. Had some technical difficulties early on in the show. Lost my phone, understand me? But I think in spite of all that, we still got a good word for the night. We deep dove on what is the wall, understand me? How you can avoid it as a young lady. If you would like to be a BBW, understand me? Don't hesitate, reach out to a pimp, understand? Reach out to the presidential intellectual masculine procedure, understand me? We got a job for you, understand me? If you ain't comfortable working for this pimping, hey, it's okay. Go find the man you're comfortable working for, understand me? I'm not here to be nobody's boss. I'm only the boss of me, understand me? With that said, we up out of this thing, man. Survival of the Simp. Tonight's show was about the wall, how to avoid it. Don't fall for the trap, ladies. Understand the power of your femininity. Rest in it, maintain it, sustain it. You'll be okay. The Lord will provide, understand me? We'll get up out of here, baby. Appreciate y'all. Until next time. We'll probably chime in again on Wednesday, understand me? So be on the lookout. If I ain't got nothing to do, if I ain't working or something, I've been working the past couple weeks, but if I ain't working and stuff, We will try to get back on the show Wednesday night. Understand me? Same bat time, same bat channel. Understand me? Holla at y'all boys and ladies and girls. Understand me? Survival of the Simp, baby.